presidential election result just got challenged in Uganda's highest court. This is Kenya News Update today. Coming up, you'll discover the explosive 1,000-page petition that claims nearly a third of polling stations were illegal and what this means for democracy in East Africa. Meet Robert Kasibante, the Peasants Party flag bearer. He placed sixth in Uganda's January 15, 2026 presidential election. But here's the twist: he's not accepting the results. Not at all. He's petitioning the Supreme Court to nullify President Yoweri Musevenis' victory and order a fresh poll. For Kasibante, this isn't about losing. It's about an election he says was stolen through widespread illegality, violence, and failure. The stakes? The legitimacy of a leader who's been in power for decades. But here's what nobody's talking about: the sheer scale of the alleged irregularities. Kasibante's petition runs over 1,000 pages. He names President Museveni, the Electoral Commission, and the Attorney General as respondents. He argues the entire process fell short of constitutional standards for a free and fair vote. And then something shocking happened. According to the petition, the Electoral Commission failed to gazette 15,256 polling stations ahead of polling day. That's nearly a third of all polling centers. Yet, these ungazetted stations were still used for voting, counting, and tallying. Kasibante claims this lack of transparency prevented candidates from deploying agents to monitor, fundamentally distorting the outcome. But the allegations go deeper than paperwork. The petition details a campaign period marred by intimidation and violence. Kasibante says he and other opposition candidates were targeted. He alleges harassment, tear gas, and physical attacks by security forces. One specific incident cited occurred on November 6, 2025, in Namasindwa district, where he claims police and special forces command personnel disrupted his campaign. He references similar disruptions against other major candidates like Robert Kasibante and Nathan Nandala Mafabi. Here's the part that will blow your mind. Kasibante places ultimate responsibility on President Museveni as commander-in-chief, accusing the security services of blatant partisan conduct. He alleges they interfered with opposition rallies, issued unlawful instructions to voters, and actively worked to favor the incumbent. And there's more. The petition raises major concerns over the biometric voter verification system. Kasibante argues the devices were introduced without a clear legal framework, were prone to frequent breakdowns, and were never independently tested with candidate participation. He claims repeated failures forced a switch to manual verification, leading to delays and inconsistencies that could have been exploited. So, what does this mean for Uganda? The official results declared Museveni the winner with 7,946,772 votes. Kasibante polled 33,440. Other candidates like Kasibante, Mafabi, and Muntu were also in the race. But if the Supreme Court finds merit in these claims, it could trigger a political earthquake. Some say this is a desperate move by a losing candidate. Others see it as a brave stand against a flawed system. The tension is palpable. A long-ruling president versus a challenger armed with 1,000 pages of alleged evidence. But here's the unanswered question. In a region where court challenges to incumbents are rare, will the Supreme Court actually deliver a verdict that could unseat a president? The implications stretch far beyond Uganda's borders, testing the strength of democratic institutions across East Africa. Do you think election petitions like this one can truly deliver justice, or are they just political theater? Drop your take in the comments. Subscribe to Kenya News Update today for more breaking news from across the region.